Hello and welcome. We begin with more details emerging from the Trump-Ramaphosa meet. Trump didn't just meet Ramaphosa at the Oval Office. He painted a picture of South Africa, one that blurred the truth. He twisted some facts to fit his narrative, distorted some others, while a few veered completely off reality. The video that he put out was aimed to present a version of South Africa that fits his argument. But Trump's reality is not the world's reality, and that's what we'll tell you. First was this video, which contains scenes of South African politicians. This clip was played to prove that the South African government is trying to seize land from white farmers. He framed it as proof to showcase land grabs. But the fact is, the man in the video isn't part of government. His name is Julius Malema, a leader of a far-left party called the EFF, or the Economic Freedom Fighters. The party came fourth in the 2024 elections, managed to secure just 9.5% of the vote. He has never held power. Malema is also seen in the video chanting an infamous anti-apartheid chant, "Kill the Boer." Now that's what the name of the song is. Boers are farmers, and they come from the Afrikaans minority. The literal translation means, "Kill the white farmer." It does incite violence, and it is controversial, but the song was actually a symbol of struggle during the 1980s, and it was an outcry against apartheid-era injustices. It was about resistance. Trump, however, tied this to the white genocide in South Africa. To equate that song with white genocide is distorting history. It paints former oppressors as present-day victims. The chant is a legacy of apartheid brutality and not a blueprint for genocide. Hence, using it now as an argument to claim alleged atrocities against whites ignores the very reason it was born in the first place.
The issue of whether what he terms as genocide can be equated to the struggle. And of course it cannot, because there is just no genocide in South Africa. And of course it is an issue of how one looks at it. As they say sometimes, the shape of the mountain depends on which point or which direction you are looking at it. And in this case, we cannot equate what is alleged to be genocide to what we went through in the struggle, because people were killed because of the oppression that was taking place in our country. So you cannot equate that.
Another scene from that video that Trump played included white crosses. They were lined up along a road, and hordes of cars and trucks were present at the site. Trump claimed that those were burial sites of quote-unquote thousands of white farmers. But the truth is something else. Those crosses seen in the video were not grave sites. The video is from a 2020 incident when a white couple was ambushed and shot dead. The crosses were erected as temporary memorials. And after Trump's unsubstantiated claims, South Africans who stayed at the memorial spoke up.
We don't have genocide in South Africa. Yes, we can talk about the huge number of crimes that are happening in the country, but that cannot be equated to genocide, you see?
The country, we really wish for the country to prosper, for black and white. It's not just about the whites and all that for me, but yes. Genocide? I don't know. I don't know, but I do think it happens.
Trump also said that white farmers are quote-unquote killed in large numbers. And then, to prove his point, he pulled out a stack of newspaper cuttings. Crime rates in South Africa are extremely high, yes. It has one of the highest murder rates in the world. In one of the newspaper clippings that Trump showed, there was an article from a website called The American Thinker. It showed individuals wearing white hazmat suits. Trump again said it was a burial site. But the image is from the Democratic Republic of Congo and not South Africa. The YouTube video was posted in February, and those figures in the screen grab were Red Cross workers. So Donald Trump came armed with a video montage. He talked of killings and highlighted white farmers who are victims of a supposed war in South Africa. But in that lavish room, the only casualty was the truth. Now, for more on this, we have with us Sean Duthie, the Director of Control Risks, joining us live from Cape Town in South Africa. Thank you for being with us, Sean.
Thank you for having me.
Now, from a South African diplomatic standpoint, how significant is it when a US president like Donald Trump publicly misrepresents certain facts during his discussions held with President Ramaphosa? Could this impact bilateral relations or even public perception of the US-South Africa relationship?
I mean, I think it will definitely impact the public perception of South Africa, particularly by Americans, which is going to limit tourism, might also limit potential trade opportunities. But I mean, bilaterally, despite the misrepresentation of what happened during the meeting, I think that the meeting actually helped bilateral relations. And Ramaphosa did a very good job of staying calm, not engaging with Trump, and in the end, having a very good relationship. There's actually signals that Trump may now actually come to the G20 meeting at the end of the year, which, if he does, I think will also mean a better perception of South Africa in the US. So I think in the end, while it was a little bit of a gotcha politics, I think in the end it's actually been better for South Africa-US relations.
And President Trump's claims during his meeting with President Ramaphosa have already been proven false. From a diplomatic perspective, how should South Africa address this misinformation?
I mean, I think we're in an age of misinformation, unfortunately. And I think the worst thing that the government can do is to try and correct everyone every time something incorrect is said. Because ultimately, it's not hard to see that the supposed genocide of white people, i.e. the complete destruction of a whole race, is not happening in South Africa. And to be fair, I think it's a fairly small minority, even in the US government, which thinks there's a genocide. And it's better to bring to light the positives in South Africa, a very active democracy, a lot of opportunities, especially for critical minerals, and the potential for increased trade, than to try and change the minds of everyone on one issue. And I think that's what Ramaphosa and the delegation did when they went to the US.
Right. And given South Africa's role in BRICS and its growing influence on the global stage, what might be the geopolitical implications if such misrepresentations by a US president go unchecked? Could it affect our international standing or our strategic alliances?
No, I mean, as mentioned, this is actually still a fairly fringe view, and I don't think it's shared by other international partners, particularly our BRICS partners. We've actually seen the actions by the US against South Africa helping to bring a closer relationship with the EU, for example. And I think there are a lot of other partners who are very happy to fill the vacuum, both trade-wise and diplomatically, if the US was to continue to veer away from its relationship with US. So I don't see any issues with our other partners because of Donald Trump's misrepresentations.
Sean, thank you very much for being with us on Firstpost Africa and for your valued insights and analysis there.
Thank you.
At Firstpost, we are choosing to hold on to accuracy. That means we won't always be first. We may not get you your breaking alert, but what you will get is what we owe you, and that is the truth. Verified, checked, and cross-checked. We rely on sources and verified ones. After all, that's what separates a journalist from a loudspeaker. But sometimes even we miss a beat, and when we do, we will tell you. That is our commitment to you. We will wait, we will verify, we will ask again, and only then will we tell you. No noise, no panic, just the facts. Because right now, that is what the country needs most.